Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. And hope you're having a great start to your day. We sure appreciate you coming on with us. And let me say hello to a few folks here as they get their notifications. We're always happy to see you come on with us. And thank you for that, Brahim, our dear friend in Portland, Oregon. Number 1 on the hit parade this morning, Mike from Norland, number 2. And Lori Lee, Ventura, California. Good morning to you, Lori Lee. We appreciate you coming on with us. Mary from Norwich, Sandra from Aurelia, Madeleine from Kippawa, Quebec, Lisa Marie, how are you? Marnie, good morning. And Olive from Oregon. Nice to have you on. Deb from Timmins. And Donna from Newfoundland, good morning. Nick from Arsta. And Judy from Britain. And Vashti, Windsor. Elaine, St. John's, Newfoundland. Leela, Werner, good morning. Chantal, Ottawa. And Frida, Devlin. And Wendy Markham, good morning. Georgie from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Fran from Orangeville, good morning. Yolande, bonjour. Donna from Park Hill. And Kathy, good morning. Margaret, Lakelet. Andrea, Nouveau Brunswick. And Diane from LaSalle, good morning. Catherine, Parksville, British Columbia. Gloria. And Leo from Bowmanville. Fran from Valcarin. And Luann from Branson, Missouri. And Lisa. And Lori from Alberta. Good morning, Alberta. Francis from Vaughan. And Evelyn, good morning. Couple more. And Francis Marie, Sandra Espanola, Dave from Gilmore, and Wendy from London, sunny day today. Andrea, oh, I already said Jerry, Nouveau Brunswick. Elaine, good morning. Tina, Harold, and Kathy, Simcoe, and Barbara, Nova Scotia. And Cecilia from Sudbury. Well, good morning. And Robin from Connecticut. Nina, good morning. And Lynn Marie and Annette, Nouveau Brunswick, right? Sharon, Kansas. And Jean, good morning from Peterborough. Good morning, guys. And Sue, good morning. And Sonia. Okay, got to get going. Now, yesterday we talked about fatty liver, and I just wanted to, I'm going to get something that's related to it today, new study that came out. I want to talk about it, but I really want to discuss fatty liver in this sense, because I want you guys to remember a couple of numbers that I think are significant and how quickly things can change, okay? So I've taught you this in the past, but I just want to refresh your memory, okay? For the new folks that are on with us, listen to this, okay, about fatty liver, which is the number 1, in my opinion, epidemic in society today, fatty liver. And I talked about it yesterday. It's not Las Vegas. What happens in the liver, unfortunately, does not stay in the liver. The liver, when that goes south, it can affect heart disease, cancer. It's always a precursor to diabetes, Alzheimer's, big time. Okay, so the liver, my friend, is really, really important to take care of. And, okay, 2 numbers that will help you. in order to get fatty liver, it only takes 1 month of eating sugar, crappy carbohydrates. Doesn't take long. You start the process of fatty liver. That's why I mentioned this yesterday. Again, I'll just repeat it. That is why I used to see children in my office, and I'm talking years ago, with fatty liver, the start of fatty liver. It only takes a month of eating sugar to get fatty liver. You don't get fatty liver from eating fat. You get fatty liver from sugar. And what is the biggest culprit of all sugars? The new kid on the block that's been around for 40 years now, invented by man, high fructose corn syrup, the worst of the worst of the worst for fatty liver. So 30 days, you start the process of fatty liver. That's a terrible thing. Now, the good news is, okay, in 6 days of eliminating sugar, of eliminating high fructose corn syrup, you can start the healing process and emptying of the liver. Only takes 6 days. Now, you got to continue on, but in 6 days, I wrote this in my last 2 books, Sun, Steak, and Steel, and Metabolic Syndrome of the Reset. Those last 2 books, I talked about that. It only takes 6 days to start emptying your liver. Somebody asked yesterday, as I was reading the scroll afterwards, about, Doc, what about a liver cleanse? Well, the best liver cleanse in the world is found in the Reset. When your liver loves liver. Your liver loves steak. Your liver loves eggs. Your liver loves cheese. Because there's no stress on the liver when you're eating those foods. You don't pack, even though you're eating fat, animal fat, that doesn't translate to a fatty liver. It's the opposite of that. And so it's really important to understand that, okay? Because I just wanted to bring that out. You can do a liver cleanse by doing the Reset. And you know what, folks? Listen, you know the Reset is a 30-day program. For those who are doing it for the first time, we recommend go 30 days because we're not only aiming at your liver, but we're aiming at insulin resistance to get your cells changed. Okay? Changing your cells, changing the resistance at the cellular level to insulin. We want you to become more insulin sensitive. Be a sensitive person. Okay? Insulin sensitivity. That way there, it really, really is good. Okay? Now, you can empty that liver. So folks, if you've done the Reset in the past, and maybe you're off track a little wee bit on your diet and you've been eating more sugar, and we're getting into the holiday season, right? And people will eat more sugar. Not a bad idea to do the Reset for 1 week. Go 6 days on the road. I used to love that song. But if you empty your liver, you can empty your liver in 6 days. 30 days to pack it up with fat. 6 days to start that emptying process. And that, my friend, is good news. Okay? But you do it by eating the right foods. Okay? That will give you a liver cleanse. Like nothing else. Okay? Like nothing else. Empty the liver gives you a liver cleanse. And remember, your liver is the most regenerative of all your organs, my friend. Okay? Your liver is the most regenerative of all the organs. Now, to another study that's related to this. Okay? Now we're going to move over, okay? So, your liver, okay, I'm just going to show you here. I'm going to back up a little wee bit, okay? Your liver is right underneath your ribs. I didn't back up far enough. Can you see me now? Okay? It's right under your right side. Okay, is your liver. Now we're just going to go over a little wee bit from right, okay? So your right hand, liver underneath your ribs. It's a huge organ there. And we're going to just travel a little wee bit towards your stomach, okay? Everybody knows where your stomach is, okay? Almost dead center there. And underneath that is an organ that is the size of a ballpoint pen. And it sits right underneath your stomach, and that's called your pancreas. Okay? So these two are very much connected, your pancreas and your liver. But listen to this study that came out of the UBC, okay? The University of British Columbia Medicine finds obesity, high insulin linked to pancreatic cancer. Okay? So yesterday we talked, the last couple of days, talked about fat. Okay? And visceral fat. This is a dangerous fat. Okay? And this here is very much linked to pancreatic cancer. Very much linked to that. And they're saying that high insulin is linked to pancreatic cancer. Now here's the scary thing about what this study is talking about. Okay? And let me just say this first. With increased insulin, how do you increase your insulin? When you're eating crappy carbohydrates, your insulin goes up. When you're consuming sugar, go in the middle aisles of your grocery store, from soup to crackers, from cereals to whatever. In the middle aisles of the grocery store, they add sugar, especially the high fructose corn syrup. Terrible stuff. And they couch it by telling you it's not high fructose corn syrup. They use 99 other names to lie to you. That's the food industry. Don't think for 1 minute the food industry loves you. They don't. They love you as a customer, but they don't love you. They don't care for your health. Imagine an industry, okay? Imagine an industry like the food industry that doesn't care an iota for your health. They don't. Okay? So, what we have today, okay, according to UBC, is once a rare cancer, pancreatic. Remember, look at a ballpoint pen. Your pancreas is the same size as this, and it sits right underneath your stomach, and its primary job is to release insulin. So think of the ink in the pen. You know me in illustrations. Think of the ink in the pen as insulin. The pen is the pancreas. Okay? And the tip of a ballpoint pen, you know how I like to talk about that, is how long cancer takes to grow to the size of a tip of a ballpoint pen is 5 years. Cancer doesn't grow quickly. It really doesn't. People have this idea. Cancer. Oh, last week, doc, I didn't have cancer. Then I went to the doctor and he said I got cancer. Well, that didn't happen in a week. To a tumor to get to this size takes 5 years. Cancer is slow growing till it gets to its late stages. That's really important to understand that. Okay? Now, here's what UBC said. Okay? Predicting that pancreatic cancer will be the number 2 leading cause of death by the year 2030. My friend, that's not even 7 years away from what they're saying. They're saying pancreatic cancer will be the 2nd leading cause of death by the year 2030. My friend, Houston, we got a problem. And doctors, hello out there. Hello out there. They don't even teach nutrition in medical schools. And anything that they learn is moderation. Folks, it's not moderation. We have an elephant in the room here. We got a big problem. Imagine by the year 2030, they're saying pancreatic cancer will be the 2nd leading cause of death in North America. Wake up. And I don't say it to my audience because you guys know this. I'm trying to scream like John the Baptist in the wilderness. Hello out there. All the tea in China, all the money that we spend on cancer research, and it's in front of us. The answer's in front of us because when you see pancreatic cancers, what? Listen, when I graduated, 1974, yikes. Next year will be 50 years. I've been around a long time. Do you know that pancreatic cancer in the 70s was almost non-existent? It was a rare... You know what they used to say about pancreatic cancer in the 70s? Here's what I learned in school. Okay? Here's what I learned in school. Pancreatic cancer and stomach cancer, the two of them, were old men, not women, old men's disease. You only got it when you're old, and you're on your way out anyway, so don't worry about it. You're old. It's just a way we'll get rid of you. No, seriously, that's what I learned in school. That's what I remember about pancreatic cancer in the 1970s. And here we are today. Here we are today. That researchers are telling us that pancreatic cancer will be the 2nd leading cause of death by the year 2030. My word, it's incredible. Incredible. Okay? Now, can I sit down again? I don't want you looking up. Okay? Okay, here we go. Now, let me show you something. I'm going to show you something, and you guys know I flunked art, okay? I majored in recess in school, but here's my art, because I got to show you this, because I want you to understand how cancer operates, okay? So, okay, can everybody see this? Okay, and now I need to stand up again. Tell me if you can see this page. Everybody see it real good? Okay. Let me just straighten it out again. Okay? Now, okay? Normal cell. See that? Okay? Now I know you guys know that I can't draw, but that's a cell, okay? A normal cell, okay? There's the nucleus, and these little wee battery packs are called your mitochondria. See these guys right in here? Okay? Those are mitochondria, okay? Now, on the cell wall, okay? So let me show you this, okay? On the cell wall, see it? Okay? These are receptors. And I actually drew them, or is that the right word? I drew them? Or I drawed them? Okay? Okay, now look, okay? See, the red one is for sugar. It's a receptor for sugar, okay? The blue one is a receptor for insulin, okay? And the purple one right here, okay, is for vitamin D. So you have receptors on your cells, okay? They're receptors. You have insulin receptors, you have glucose receptors, sugar, and you have receptors for vitamin D. Every cell in your body. Why do I call you a human solar panel? Because you have receptors for vitamin D. Got it? Okay? Now, okay? Yes, you drew them. I've drawn them. I love you guys. Okay? Now, see the bottom one here? Okay, what are we looking at here? We're looking at, I drew a picture of a cancer cell. Okay? What a cancer cell. See the difference? One of the biggest differences is the shape of the cell wall. Cancer cells they start by being free radicals. Now, everybody makes free radicals. Everybody gets oxidative damage. All of us. That's how we age. So cancer really, when you think about it, is a rapid aging at the cellular level. Rapid aging. Now, but here's something that you guys know, but it's good to go over. And why are we seeing so much pancreatic cancer today? Here's the reason. Because on a cancer cell, you have, okay, I wrote it right here. You have 200 times more receptors on a cancer cell than a normal cell for sugar. Okay? For sugar. You have 200 times more receptors for sugar. Now you got insulin receptors on there too. That's why I want you to lower your insulin. And there's no receptors for vitamin D there on your cancer cell. Guys, look, cancer to some extent, okay, is complex, okay? It's a complex disorder. But the low-hanging fruit that is so important for you and for me to understand is this. Cancer cells need glucose. It's their fuel. Okay? And again, how do we know that? Because when you get a PET scan, cancer imaging, the only way it works is if they give you glucose ahead of time. So if you got cancer in your brain to your toes, a PET scan only works with glucose. And a PET scan is a cancer screening. Okay? And doctors, why don't you know that? Why is it that you send patients home with Insure, with Boost? And in Canada, most hospitals have Tim Hortons right there. And that's all right. I like their coffee, but I certainly don't like their donuts. Well, I do, but I don't. Do you know what I mean? Oh, Dr. Martin, I just got a carrot muffin from Tim Hortons. Yeah, well, that's got 8 teaspoons of sugar in it. Yeah, but it's got fiber. Ooh, I get uptight. So you see, guys, okay, you see, when you look at a cancer cell, and you see the receptors for glucose, okay? The receptors, all those 200 times more receptors for sugar. 200 times more receptors for sugar. Guys, gals, Larry, Linda, listen. Yes, cancer is complex. Yes, cancer is a difficult disease. Yes, but there's low-hanging fruit, and that's the one that you and I can control. Would you cut out the sugar, especially the high fructose corn syrup? And so, I mean, when the UBC tells you, they're predicting that pancreatic cancer will be the second leading cause of death by the year 2030. My word. What's happened to our society today? What has happened since 1980? When the food industry manufactured a sugar and it was cheap, it was addictive, it was very, very sweet, 100 times sweeter than sugar, high fructose corn syrup. And my friend, not only has that caused an enormous spike in obesity, why are we so much bigger today? It really comes down to the sugar, the change in the sugar. Look, I used to have cookies and ice cream when I was a kid too. My grandchildren think, Grandpa, did you never have sugar? Yeah, I had sugar. But guys, I'm telling you, this is key. Okay? So what do? Elimination. Empty your liver. Okay? Because the liver and the pancreas are very, very much connected. Very much connected. And what happens in the liver don't stay in the liver. And when you insist, or when I say you know I don't mean you. I mean the rest of them out there. When they insist on using their pancreas all the time, remember, when you eat simple carbohydrates, bread, pasta, rice, cereals, sugar, sweets, pastries, juice, store-bought milk, muffins, and bagel. Dr. Martin, I got an everything bagel. Isn't that good for me? No, it's going to be sugar in 5 seconds. It's going to go directly to your liver. And then your pancreas is going to be damaged and eventually will lead to pancreatic cancer. My word, remember, cancer cells have 200 times more receptors for glucose, for sugar, than any other cell. Cancer cells feed on sugar. Well, guys, okay. We know it. So what do? Well, information provides choices. That's why information is so powerful, right? It's powerful. Who knew? Guys, again, just something that bothers me, like you have no idea how much this bothers me. Why do physicians not know this? They're doctors. And they belong to the cholesterol cult, most of them. Anywho, I promised myself before I started today that I wouldn't get excited, okay? It didn't work. I got excited. I elevated my cortisol. Okay? I promised. Because when I look at stuff like this, it blows my socks off. It really does. And it gets me steam coming out the ears. Anywho. Okay, guys. I promise. I won't get excited tomorrow. Okay. No, guys, we love you dearly. Remember, question and answer Friday. Okay? You know how much we love those Fridays. Get your questions in. Okay? Tell your friends, guys, about the Doctors In podcast. Okay? Because a lot of people, they can't watch us live. Okay? They just can't. And that's all right. We love them. Okay? We do. And we're trying to get on Facebook, okay, up to 85,000 followers. We're almost there. And when we get there, I don't know how we're going to do a party, but we're going to do a party. Okay? Okay, guys. I love you, and we'll talk to you soon.